So I've played with Romelu Lukaku, Cassano,
Okay.
Henry,
Yep.
Willian,
Yep.
Balotelli.
Ooh. Willian, that's the one that... It's not Samuel Eto'o, is it?
For fuck's sake.
Oh my God, not again, Carlsberg. No.
That is absolutely superb.
Hello and welcome to FC Podcast. This podcast is your weekly fix of football, which is where me and the boys indulge of everything in football culture. Thank you for tuning in to us to talk football with us this week. If this is your first time listening to this podcast, like what you hear, please hit follow and subscribe so that you never miss an episode. The voice you're hearing is Simon Scott, and as always, I am joined by Captain Fantastic. It is Mr. Carlsberg, Jack Hoban, our super Chelsea fan, and across the pond, the Bundesliga superfan James Hepworth, or known to most around these parts as Hansi Fickle. If you're wondering why, just wait until the bare minimum a little bit later. The FCP boys return to reflect on the aftermath of another Liverpool loss, this time at the hands of Brendan Rodgers' Leicester City. I bet he loved that. Chelsea are currently undefeated under new man Thomas Tuchel, and as ever, James will be attempting to convince us that the Bundesliga is the best league in the world. Well, Jack's going to have another quiz for us after last week's 5-second sample. Hopefully, it's a little bit more difficult. I did guess it within the first few seconds. And once again, salutes to the FC Podcast Ultras. Thank you guys for voting in our polls on Twitter and following us on Instagram. You can participate in those on Twitter at FC_podcast2. And we have so many entertaining posts on Instagram. That is at FC_podcast. Gents, how the devil are you? James, you're a world champion, not only in football, but also in fickleness. Congratulations, my friend, and well done to Bayern as well.
Well, let's just... Okay, you can call Bayern world champions, although let's just swap a champion in fickleness for champion pancake maker, because it's pancake today, and I've just made the best sticky toffee apple pancakes this side of Hadrian's Wall. Thank you very much.
That sounds really, really good. Obviously, this is recorded on the 16th of February, so if you're listening to this the day it comes out, you've missed Pancake Day. It was actually today. I'm absolutely gutted. I didn't have any pancakes. You've only just reminded me myself.
Oh, you haven't even got the 99p ones from McDonald's, mate?
McDonald's do fucking pancakes.
Yeah, this is 99. They did a special offer today.
What a time to be alive. Well, there's still time. I've still got however many hours left in the day. Jack, how the devil are you, sir?
I'm great, mate. Chelsea are flying. I'm absolutely loving life.
I can imagine you are. It's a bit of very much a turn of fortunes for us all in the last couple of weeks. It's been emotional, to say the least, on my end. Well, we'll get into that a little bit in a second. Champions League returns tonight. This is a European football culture podcast, so we couldn't move on into our main story without delving into these fixtures. Tonight, we've got Barcelona versus PSG. Now, Jack, I know that this is a game that you're looking forward to watching, but apparently no Neymar. James, could you do us a Google? Is it his sister's birthday today?
Probably his sister's birthday. I can only imagine so.
Is she like the Queen? Does she have like 3 or 4 a year?
Yeah, well, all I know is she's based in Rio de Janeiro, and he always has to go back for her sister's birthday. And it's always this time of year as well, so it has to be. It's always around February, isn't it?
I think he's missed the first leg of every last 16 game, going back to 2016 now.
Because he had an injury in the French Cup, didn't he? And I just think it's just always so well timed, isn't it? He always just does a little...
Against a team that's in the second tier of the French football pyramid. It was ridiculous that he was playing.
It's never a good time to play Barcelona in the Champions League, because they just seem to be hitting form just slightly. Did you see one of Messi's goals at the weekend? What an absolute worldie that was.
What was Barcelona's last appearance in the Champions League?
Oh, I don't know, James. Have you got a book that you could send us that could remind us of that? Was it
I don't know.
As per usual, you always got to bring it to Bayern.
I don't know. I'd hate to tell you, but maybe I should.
Oh, go on.
I'd rather you didn't.
Okay, I won't, because you're just going to call me Hansel Fickle anyway, and I want to get away from this nickname as soon as possible. So let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on from Hansel Fickle.
Yeah, well, we've also got tomorrow night Porto versus Juventus, with CR7 once again returning to the Champions League, and Sevilla versus Dortmund tomorrow night. 16 Champions League goals in just 12 appearances in the competition for Erling Haaland. That's for Dortmund and his previous club, RB Salzburg, respectively. But the big game for the host of FC Podcast will be RB Leipzig versus Liverpool via Budapest. No, that's not a stag do. That is, in fact, a fixture. Not an easy game. That's because Liverpool have lost. Last 16 draw is one of the toughest of the unseeded group stage runners-up that they could have faced. Leipzig's run to last season's Champions League semi-final was further proof that their coach, Julian Nagelsmann, is one of Europe's football's rising stars. He's only 33 years old, and he's already linked to any top job that's going. You're looking at Real Madrid being the latest rumoured suitors if Zidane does depart the Santiago Bernabeu this summer. However, that is the least of my concerns, because Liverpool have forgotten how to win a game of football. Oh, that Leicester performance was a bit Harvey Dent. It was very two-faced, because you had some sensational bits of football. I thought Salah's goal was excellent. Some of the touches by Firmino, I was like, right, boys, here we go. This is what I want to see. I'm hungover. I've folded out my IKEA sofa into an IKEA bed. I'm lounging and I need cheering up because I'm hanging. And it just all went tits up. I mean, Leicester did very well, but once again, Liverpool completely implode at the back. VAR decisions, going against them. Alisson comes flying out of his goal, nearly kills the new centre-back who had a few teething issues in his first game. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. Lost 3 on the bounce in the league, down to 6th. What could go worse? What could go more wrong? Go on, Jack. I'm sure you have lots to say on the state of Liverpool at the minute, so I'm going to let you wax lyrically, and I'll just interrupt you if I get too offended.
It was a really good goal by Salah, wasn't it?
Feels like a long time ago, yeah, but it was a fucking good goal, mate. What a take, what a finish, what an assist. I mean, that's the only
unbelievable
positive.
from Firmino.
It's the only positive I've got to cling on to. I mean, the goalkeeper left a bit to be desired.
I thought Kepa was playing, mate. He was fucking woeful. He's been woeful for 2 games now.
Yeah, he made a fantastic save at one point, a double save. To deny Harvey Barnes, I believe it was. But he didn't do so much for the third, and he kung fu kicked his teammate for the second. I mean, what was he doing, boys?
I don't know, mate. Maybe he wants to get involved with some jiu-jitsu. Maybe he's had enough about football. Maybe he's not about that life anymore.
I just don't know what he was thinking coming out like that. I mean, people are trying to blame the centre-back. I'm not sure you can. Alisson had no right coming out there. And they just handed a goal to Vardy. And he celebrated in pure Jamie Vardy fashion. Such a shithouse, ain't he?
Oh, he's such a shithouse, but like, you shouldn't give him the chance to be a shithouse, to be honest. There is not an easier goal he will have scored in his Premier League career. And he's a man of tap-ins, but that one really, really took the cake. What did you think about the VAR decision to give the first goal? Because I actually couldn't see what they were judging it on. Somebody's armpit was in line with somebody's toenail or pubic hair or whatever it was. And it wasn't given an offside. I thought Thiago's challenge was very, very poor for a man of his experience to give away a free kick like that, especially in a game you're trying to defend a 1-0 lead from.
Free Thiago! Free Thiago!
Right, I want to ask you this, James, because you keep saying free Thiago. He don't need freeing because he's in a team that should be matching his ambitions, and he's only won 2 games out of the potential 11 or 12 I think he started. His passing's sensational, but he spends a lot of time kind of like waiting for something to happen, and there is stuff happening in front of him. I mean, we are the team that is, we are long balls running at the back, using his pace. That's what we do. And he just doesn't seem to be engaging in our style of play almost. A lot of people online, especially on Twitter, have said that we've regressed under him. So what's going on, James? What is happening to Thiago Alcantara at the minute?
I don't know, mate. I think he just wants to be back in Bayern. Every time I see an Instagram or a Twitter post by Thiago, it's always him congratulating Bayern on another win and another trophy. So he's probably, mate, he wants to be back onto Hansi Flick. Of course he does, mate. He's missing it. Mate, he's missing home. He's homesick.
But you must agree that his style of play is a little bit just slowing the pace down. Like every time I've seen him play, it's like you see a run and he just makes like either a sideways pass or he tries to take a man on. I'm like, no, play it long. He says you've got the ability to play it long. It's like Salah and Mane were exhausting themselves making runs. Nobody was reaching them.
I think the thing with Thiago is from having seen copious amounts of time for Bayern, he seems to be very good in the European games, but when it comes to like league games, he seems to like just not be on the boil so much. He seems to save all his best like appearances for Champions League. Maybe it's something to do with the physicality. I'm not too sure, but like he comes to light in the big games. He's a big game player, to be fair.
Yeah, but I would counter argue that every game that we play is a big game. You know, every game is a cup final. That's the mentality that Liverpool have had for the past 2 years that has got them so well. You get a VAR decision go against you and suddenly everybody's heads are down. Everybody just seems to have lost that bit of grit that made us, as Klopp likes to quote us, the mentality monsters. And, you know, fair play to Leicester. Instinctively killed the game off. Some poor defending. I was like, the second that goal went in, they were like, right, we've forgotten how to defend. And just completely giving it up. Really frustrating to watch as a fan. I'm sure both of you boys have been loving it because it's something different. But it is frustrating. What's even more frustrating is at the end of the game, Klopp has conceded that we're not going to win the league and we're now sitting sixth.
Oh, goodness me. It's not what you want to hear, really, is it?
Below West Ham. And Chelsea.
Yeah, well, we'll get onto your Chelsea in a second. Leipzig this evening, James. What should Liverpool be expecting?
Mate, I think you should be expecting another L, to be fair, because I think Leipzig are going to win. I think Leipzig are on great form, come off from a good win over Augsburg on the weekend, and I think they're going to be more up for it than Liverpool. So I think you're going to lose, and if you win, I'll be very surprised. What's your opinions, Jack? Will you be watching this game or will you be watching Barcelona PSG?
I want to watch Barca PSG. Messi and Mbappe.
Yeah,
it's got to be done, hasn't it?
Well, he's not really scored a lot of goals recently, though, has he, Mbappe? He's had a bit of a dry spell.
And no Neymar and Di Maria tonight. It's going to be him and Icardi up top.
They don't have to rely on Choupo-Moting anymore either. Sad times.
Oh, yes, of course. I have to admit, though, it still surprises me when I see the squad list of Barcelona come out and Braithwaite's there.
Braithwaite.
Like, what's he doing?
Braithwaite.
Like, what's he doing there?
It's a bit like...
You see with number 9 shirt as well.
It's a bit like in the old days, so like Real Madrid, when they had like Royston Drenthe and like Thomas Gravenson. Just like, what are you doing there? Why?
Yeah, strange.
But I think I honestly can't see you beating Leipzig. I think you're going to lose. I think they're just going to be more up for it, and I think you are on a bad streak at the moment, and Leipzig are not easy to play against. I think it's a bad time for you to be playing Leipzig.
Yeah, I think it's a bad time for the Champions League to come around for us.
Big time.
Because I think we could have done with a week off, to be honest. I think we could have done with another game at the weekend, a bit of downtime as a squad and just reassessing things and maybe dropping Thiago from the starting 11, maybe. Because he didn't start against Leicester. He only came on because Milner got injured and he's meant to be out for...
I mean, to be fair, the game is in Budapest, isn't it? So it's not like... Although they don't have the home fans, so we can't really... It's always going to be a bit of a neutral situation. But no, I still think you're going to lose.
Well, from what I've been reading and studying about Leipzig, I expect Liverpool's forwards to find a little bit more space behind the defence than they would against some of the deeper defences in the Premier League. Upamecano.
Yeah, but it's your defence and midfield that's the worry.
Yeah, it is. And Paulson's also on a bit of form as well. I saw a combined 11 of like Liverpool versus Leipzig players. There's about 9 Leipzig players in it. Like, for fuck's sake, because like people just forgot that we can play football. We've had a a bit of a bad run. Just the overreaction in football media drives me mad.
They've got some quite good. Angelino's very good. Olmo is very good. And Nkunku is very good. Sabitzer.
Have you got the notes in front of you, James, or are you reading this off your memory? Because I'm not used to you having this sort of off the hip Bundesliga knowledge.
Sabitzer's very good. Yeah, Poulsen. Forsberg is decent. To be fair, they work as a team. Nagelsmann is such a good coach. He's so good. And he just gets all the teams playing together. I think Jurgen Klopp, I think he's going to be the losing German. But anyway, that's enough from me. I'm banging on about this game too much at the moment, giving Liverpool more credit than they should.
That's enough for me. When has he ever said this? That's enough for me.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of Jurgen Klopp, there's been all sorts of rumours flying around about him this week. Rumours he needed a break, that he may step away as manager. I know that he did a similar sort of thing after a poor run of form with Dortmund. Well, he came out at his press conference yesterday saying he's, I quote, full of energy with the situation a challenge. He's also stated that he doesn't want to discuss personal matters in a press conference. You may be aware, or if you're not, his mother passed away. And due to the pandemic that's ongoing, was unable to attend his mother's funeral in his homeland of Germany. Well, my thoughts go out to him. I'm sure yours does as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's no denying that this is Klopp's most difficult period as a Liverpool manager. How did he bounce back from any difficult periods at Dortmund? Because obviously they won the league. Was it 2 years on the bounce, Jack?
Yeah. I think it was his final season, wasn't it, where I think halfway through the season, they were in a relegation battle, almost like. I think they just about got Europa League, didn't they, in the end?
Well, then they got bounced out to Liverpool, didn't they, in that crazy game?
Nah. Klopp was managing Liverpool then. Thomas Tuchel was the manager of Dortmund.
Oh, yeah, of course. Long time ago.
So I think Klopp's last season, I think they just got Europa League. So it would have been 14-15 season maybe, or 13-14. So they had an awful first half of the season, and they were like 15th, 16th maybe at one point. And I think in the end they hit form in the second half of the season, and they may have just scraped Europa League.
Well, he's obviously not in a relegation battle with Liverpool.
I mean, it was a relegation battle for like a couple of weeks.
It's definitely a top four battle now. And with some of the teams around them doing well, which we'll move on to very quickly. Just a Jordan Henderson quote, the Liverpool captain. I thought I'd read this to you. I know the manager tries to protect us as much as possible in the press, but as players, we know it's down to us to change the situation that we're in. We take full responsibility on results and performances. It's down to us to get out there, keep working hard, keep fighting to change this tough period that we've been going through over the last few weeks. Hopefully, we can string that starting tomorrow. He means tonight. Well, it's definitely a top four battle in the Premier League, and there is one team that's suddenly taking it by the scruff of the neck, and that is your Chelsea, Jack. Undefeated in the last 5, only conceding 1 in their last 5 as well. There's been a lot of questions about some of the players returning to the lineup, mostly from you, sir, but you must be pleased.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's gone. I'm still gutted about Lampard going, but the results have been good so far. There's not a lot to complain about. I think Werner's goal was coming. The past couple of games, he's actually been one of our better players. And it was just, it felt a bit like Torres in that sense, that the goal was coming, it was just how long it was going to take. But he was playing with a lot more confidence than the Torres that was at Chelsea, that's for sure.
Oh, most definitely. He's finally scored after over 1,000 minutes without a Premier League goal. But in saying that, it may have taken him a little while to get his goal, but the last couple of weeks, he's looked a lot more active in the final third since Tuchel's come in, drifting off from that left-hand side. He's got quite a few assists as well, hasn't he?
I'm not sure if the assist was given to him for the Giroud goal. He got an assist for Mount's goal against Sheffield United. I thought he was brilliant against Spurs, because the goals haven't been coming, but the work rate is there and the movement's there as well. So he keeps getting into positions where he's able to either get into a scoring position, or he's able to get into a position where he's able to play a ball into a teammate. And I think the difference between Werner under Thomas Tuchel and Werner under Lampard is, under Lampard, he was a sole left-hand sided player. He just basically stuck out onto the left-hand side. didn't really come in as much. Under Tuchel in this system, because we're playing with a three at the back, and he's got either Alonso or Chilwell that are just hugging the touchline. Werner's playing almost like an inside forward, playing off the striker, same as Mount for the right hand side. So a lot of the times Werner's coming in and is playing almost like in between the left hand side and the striking position.
That's sort of the similar space that he used to occupy at Leipzig as well.
Absolutely. It's a very similar position to his Leipzig one.
From my perspective, it seems like Tuchel is almost just playing to the strengths of his squad, and they also look like they like each other again. I've seen a lot of photos from Cobham, and they actually seem to be having a laugh and getting on and bonding.
Yeah, but it was like this under Lampard.
I mean, the harmonious squad was definitely an issue that Lampard was dealing with.
Well, to be fair, Lampard is as good as a football manager as I am a Bundesliga expert.
All right, but might get sacked in a few weeks.
Please don't sack me. Please don't sack me from this podcast. It's my only hope and joy.
Lampard's competent as a manager. You're just fucking useless.
Mate, Lampard is shit. Lampard is shite. Let's not beat around the bush. How much money was he given? And I'm sorry, but we were all in agreement that Tuchel was the right man to come in and get this terrible situation back on the road again.
He's not wrong. We did kind of say that Tuchel would be a good man to come in, and he has done a good job.
Hang on, whoa. The only reason James was saying it is because he's German and he just wanted Tuchel to do well because he's German. He kept pushing for it.
No, he's done well everywhere he's gone.
You were just agreeing with him as well,
mate,
Simon.
He took them to the Champions League final.
Mate, you've gone from a Championship manager to a Champions League manager.
It's like, what? It's like, I don't even understand. Just because he's a legend for Chelsea, everyone's defending him. He's a shy manager. I'm sorry. He's a good player, not a good manager at the moment. He's got a lot to learn.
Didn't he get us the top four finish and into a cup final last season where we weren't able to make any signings?
And?
Surely you can't be a shit manager if you do that.
Well,
I'm not saying he's a great manager, but you can't be a shit manager if you do that.
Maybe we should name this section the bare minimum.
Well, I was just about to say, James, you must be happy as a German.
That's a good idea because you're talking shit in this one as well.
No, I was going to say, come on, James.
It's hardly shit if someone else is agreeing with me, though.
Oh, great. You got Simon agreeing with you.
No.
Congratulations, pal.
I'm not going to agree with James's outrageous statements. I'm on the fence with it because I think Lampard will be a great manager. I've said before, he took the Chelsea job.
Oh, look, a flying pig. Oh, look at that flying pig.
But I was going to say, as a German, James, you must be quite happy that Werner's now hitting form just as the Euros around the corner.
Exactly. I'm happy about that, especially because we need Werner to be on form. And then also, hopefully, there's a bit of a good gentleman's agreement between Hansi Flick and Tuchel. Tuchel can send Havertz to Bayern, and in return, we'll give Chelsea the myth, the legend, Corentin Tolisso.
See what I mean? Talking shit.
Right, well, and I think after that fine debate of the Premier League, it's only fair that we actually delve into James's Farmer League in Germany. It's time for this, the bare minimum. Oh, good Lord. Well, he's shat on the old Premier League, so it's time for him to shit on his own league. That music can mean only one thing. From the comfort of our English boozer in the tunnels of a Bavarian beer hall we go. Come on, James. Fire up your tractor. Why should we have watched the Bundesliga this week?
Before I start on the Bundesliga, I've got this important announcement. From the top. We know what we are. We know what we are. Champions of the world. We know what we are. Okay, that was me done.
You feel better?
Yes.
Feel good?
So, yeah.
Is that the section done now? Can we move on?
To be fair, we could just leave it as that if you'd like to. We don't need to talk
Bayern
about
fuck up at the weekend?
No.
Yeah, they did fuck up at the weekend. Come on,
we didn't even play on the weekend, fam. We played yesterday, but we don't need to talk about that.
Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase that. Didn't Bayern fuck up on a Monday night?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Alphonso Davies, not quite a goat just yet, managed to bring you back into it. I actually had to Google what the team was they were playing. Who was it?
Who was you playing?
James, did you have to Google it as well?
Arminia Bielefeld.
Yeah, he did.
Now, how could no, mate? My phone's here. I'm not googling anything. Bloody clown.
All right. Okay.
Who did you play?
Arminia Bielefeld.
Oh.
Who?
I know, mate. To be fair, most German people don't even know where Bielefeld is. Let me paint this picture.
And how many goals did they put past you?
It's story time. Here he comes.
It's the German version of Scunthorpe. That is Bielefeld.
And how many goals did they put past you?
3.
And
Who are they again?
Arminia
Not champions
Bielefeld.
of the world, by
Mate,
the
we've
sounds
just
of it.
returned from winning the biggest competition in club
Sorry. So
football.
you started this segment chanting, "We know what we are. We're champions of the world."
We
and
know
then
what
you
we are.
conceded 3 goals to a team where most people in Germany wouldn't even know where they're located.
Yeah, but we're still champions of the world, mate.
Yeah, you can't take that away from
And how many goals did you concede to whoever the fuck you were playing on Monday?
Do tell me one thing. When Chelsea were in the Club World Cup, did you win the tournament?
Ooh, that was a bit nasty, wasn't it?
You know, he's rattled because he's bringing Chelsea
he's
into
getting
it.
spiteful. You know, he's on the ropes now. Like, fucking hell. Well,
All right, okay, I'll talk through it.
So how many goals did you concede to them again?
Look, fam. How can you expect to beat Arminia Bielefeld when you have Choupo-Moting and Bruno Sarr in your team? It was always going to end in tears.
Didn't Lewandowski play?
Yeah, but he shouldn't have not played. He did nothing. Literally.
So you got the best striker in the world, and you're complaining that you've got Choupo-Moting playing.
They've come back from bloody Qatar only 3 days ago. They've been.
No, that's a great
have
point.
they been influencers?
That is a great point. They've just come back. So how many goals did you concede again?
I think it was 3.
We're still
Fine,
top of the
it's
league.
fine.
We're still top of the
Fine.
league. It's fine.
How many goals again?
Anyway, let's talk about Dortmund fucking it up again. So yes, Dortmund.
No. But you're the Bayern Munich fan. Let's talk Bayern.
Enough about Bayern. No, we don't want to
Yeah, but
talk
you
about
wanted
Bayern
you
anymore.
wanted to do all the chanting.
He's
I've
done
done
it.
my chance.
It's been done. He's said his bit. He's said his bit. Right. Other than the levels of fatigue with the Champions League arriving, I think Bayern are going to be a little bit tired. I don't think your prediction of them winning the Champions League may come through. But Dortmund, other than fucking it, apparently, according to James, although who really knows, they've announced their latest manager who currently fills the dugout in Mönchengladbach. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. Marco Rose, great man.
Well, James' first response in the chat was who?
I think he was joking, mate. Or was he?
Are you sure?
Hard to tell nowadays.
I don't
But
know.
So go on, James. You educate us, and then Jack will correct you if you get it wrong.
Yeah, of course. So Marco Rose been at the helm of Borussia Mönchengladbach for a few years now. Done really, really well with creating a great dynamic Mönchengladbach team. And yeah, it's been announced that he's going to be taking over at the helm for Borussia Dortmund. So an hour trip east of Mönchengladbach, so he doesn't really need to move home. So quite good for him. And yeah, I think he will potentially sort out the mess because, goodness me, they can't defend very well at Dortmund. They really need to sort out their defensive woes. But Haaland on the score sheet again. Sancho doing a little bit better. Score sheet, sorry. I need to have a drink. I need to have a drink of water. I was getting tongue-tied. Anyway, or red wine maybe.
Thanks for the update, Jeff.
Yeah, so again, we've been quite lucky in the sense that we've been relying on some of our big good contenders within the league to not perform. So even though we are very tired, the Pokal is still in our hands.
For now, I think that's a very good place to end the bare minimum. Now, this may be a bit of news to you if you didn't listen last week, but behind the scenes of this podcast, Jack is constantly testing, mostly James, but also me, on our footballing knowledge. We've had lots of riddles, quizzes sent on the regular. We had one the other day that literally consumed my entire evening. Well, we've decided it's only fair that UFCP listeners and the Ultras as well have to struggle with them alongside us. Now, Jack, you've got this brain teaser. It's your Who Am I quiz, where you select a couple of names and we have to find a person that's played with every single one of them. So go on then. Who are your names for Who Am I?
So I've played with Romelu Lukaku,
Mm-hmm.
Cassano,
Okay.
Henry,
Yep.
Willian,
Yep.
Balotelli.
Oh. Willian. That's the one that... It's not Samuel Eto'o, is it?
For fuck's sake.
Oh my God, not again, Carlsberg. No.
That is absolutely superb.
That's 2 out of 2, that one.
I knew I shouldn't have put Willian in.
It's what give it... To be honest...
Should have went for Van Ginkel or something.
I would have got Van Ginkel as well because I instantly went Inter,
Chelsea.
AC, Chelsea. And I went through that order. And then when you said Ibrahimovic, I was like, oh, that's...
Ibrahimovic.
Did you say Ibrahimovic?
No.
What did you say?
Henry,
Mm-hmm.
Balotelli, Lukaku, Willian, Cassano.
Yeah, it was
Balotelli.
Henry that it was Henry that gave it away for me because I was like, that's Barcelona.
He looks so disappointed, Carlsberg.
Dejected,
Well,
absolutely dejected.
I had my big win last night when it took you 3 hours to
It
get
did.
it.
Well, that one was really, really difficult. And I actually was looking through the list and I was like, oh yeah, Luca Toni, but just didn't think about it. I was like,
Well, I thought James was going to get it. He's meant to be the fucking Bayern fan.
yeah, I was literally in the deep end. The one name that really threw me off in that one was John Arnorisa. I was like, what?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I was like,
At
And
Roma.
I was like, the only places that he's played are Roma. And he also played for Monaco before he moved to Liverpool. So I was like, maybe there's a link there. So I was going through the 2003, 2004 Monaco squad like a madman. And I was like, oh, maybe. But then, yeah, absolutely broke my brain.
And then I said he played in Germany and a World Cup winner.
I know, and then I was looking at the World Cup squads for Spain. I was looking at the World Cup German squads. And I was going the wrong way. Oh well. It was a bloody good go, and I appreciate your efforts. You just need to make it a little bit harder. Oh, good Lord.
Next week I'm doing a player list from the 60s. Fuck this.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Right, I think it's time now to put some respect on that man's name news.
put some respect on that man's name.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am your lead anchor for tonight. And the main story, David Alaba has decided after 13 trophy-laden years at Bayern Munich that he's now riding off into the sunset to earn some more trophies, I suppose. 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Club World Cups, 2 UEFA Super Cups, 9 Bundesliga titles, the DFB Polka, a casual 6 times. And he's also won the DFL Super Cup 5 times. But one man on this podcast has the audacity to call this player Alabum. And after his outrageous suggestion for put some respect on that man's name news this week, putting himself in there, it's only right that I stick it at him and tell him to go fuck himself by putting some respect on the name of David Alaba.
Oh, yeah, he suggested himself or put some respect on that name last week.
I know, and now that Alaba's leaving Bayern Munich...
I forgot about that.
Yeah, of course, mate. I had to. I had to defend the Twickenham Pele, you know, the status of the Twickenham Pele.
There's no low this bloke will sing to, is there?
No, not really.
Is he like a discount Peter Crouch, isn't he? Without the banter.
It's very disrespectful to Peter Crouch.
I would say it's more disrespectful to discount.
Oh, well, that's very, very true. Who do you have in some put some respect on that man's name news this week? Or do you not have anybody? Has it been
You talking to me?
It's a Zoom call, mate. I could be speaking to any of you.
You've got to announce the person who you want to put on.
Yeah, I was waiting for James to speak.
I was waiting for Carlsberg to speak.
James! Put some respect on that man's name.
Who am I going to go for? Put some respect on that man's name.
Good Lord,
Oh,
not
fucking
yourself.
hell. Yeah.
I'm going to go for Timo Werner, actually. Yes.
Ooh.
Based on, really putting in the workload, really working hard, really, going week out, not scoring. And I think his first goal in 1,000 minutes of football. And as Carlsberg very nicely alluded to, it seems to be the relationship between Tuchel and Werner seems to be quite nice. They seem to be in a happy place. We need Werner to be firing if we've got any chance of beating France, Portugal and Hungary at the Euros. I mean, it probably won't happen, but a man can dream.
It's a good group, that, isn't it?
You're going out in the group stage, pal.
So put some respect on that man's name. Timo Werner.
Very excellent suggestion on this late night news programme that just puts respect on any man that we believe to be deserving on it. Now, all the way over in Dunmo, Mr. Jack, our correspondent out there, who should we put some respect on this week?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say Werner's a good shout. Once he got a busted lip, shit got real.
Oh, you made me bleed my own blood.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
Shit got real after that. It was a different Werner.
Oh, yeah. He was Werner the Burner, wasn't he? Now, so go on. Who have we got?
Well, I could say a Chelsea player and be a biased prick like some people on this podcast. However, I am going for that man again, Big Romelu Lukaku. Because on a weekend where the title race got thrown upside down, he stepped up big time for Inter Milan. So Juventus lose 1-0 to Napoli on Saturday.
What a result.
Hey.
Shout out to Lorenzo Insigne. And then AC Milan go and lose 2-0 to Spezia. And it was one of their strongest lineups they've been able to put out all season long due to players coming back from COVID, injuries and suspensions. And then, so it goes into Sunday, and Inter Milan are playing at home to Lazio. Big game.
Very big game.
They lose this. It means all three title contenders have lost the same weekend. Plus, it's the Milan derby this coming Sunday. The pressure's on. Lukaku puts them 2-0 up going into the second half. Lazio score, and then 4 minutes later, Lukaku just turns into absolute speed demon mode. He gets the ball on the right-hand side, and I can't remember who he got past, but he basically just got the ball and just smashed it, almost like Gareth Bale at the San Siro, and just ran onto it, destroyed the defender for pace, smashed it across goal for Lautaro Martinez to tap in, like 4 or 5 minutes after Lazio have made it 2-1. It's now 3-1 to Inter. The game's over.
Goodness.
It was a brilliant performance.
He must really be loving his life in Milan. It must be all the lovely pizza and pasta and just like a nice quality of life, probably.
Yep, and the team is completely set up to him under Conte. He's playing for a manager that he really trusts and likes. It matters.
And also, Milan's a beautiful city. So
Milan is stunning.
Absolutely stunning.
I think it's a little bit better than Manchester, no offence.
He's walking around with his Gucci flip-flops, having a good time.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine him having like a white tiger in his apartment as well, living like an absolute
I've always slated him for not turning up in the big games. Well, on Sunday against Lazio, that was a big game considering the team they were playing and the circumstances of the results to Juve and AC Milan. And he turned up big time and was the main difference in what got into the 3 points.
It had to. That is in a title race. That is a must-win game. When your rivals lose, you simply have to win. Something that City are really doing well this season. I can't knock Lukaku. I've always liked him as a player. When he was at West Brom on loan, when he was on loan at Everton, eventually signed for them, thought he was brilliant. I thought his time at United, even though he had like something like 46 goals in like 90 odd games, I felt like he got a lot of stick for what he can't do, and a lot of people forget what he is capable of. Like, yeah, he might not be able to hold the ball up. Yeah, his first touch he's not Dimitar Berbatov.
Oh, he can hold the ball up.
But that's something that he can do. It's just like a misconception of this, like, you know, this narrative around Lukaku. He scored 300. What is it like? He's made like 300 league goals in his career. That he was the new statistic he's topped at Inter.
Yep.
He's like in the top 10 goal scorers in the Premier League. Like he's a fantastic player. He beat Henry's record to 100 Premier League goals in the league. The man just needs some... Like, I'm really pleased that you've put his name in there, Jack. Put some respect on that man's name, Romelu Lukaku. And here's hoping as well that he has a good Euros, if that's played, because Belgium will most definitely need him. After your really sensible suggestion, James, it almost feels weird that we're now moving on to Clown of the Week. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, right this way. It is time for Clown of the Week. Well, last week we had a very good clown in the fact that it was Mike Dean for his decision-making over the past few weeks. A couple of red cards have been rescinded that he made. You know, somebody gave the old swift bang elbow to Souček because apparently he elbowed somebody, which he didn't. One thing I will say, though, about last week's Clown of the Week is we had a few comments that apparently it was a bit harsh. Well, we put him in there after his bad decisions, and apparently he received death threats. He chose not to referee games at this previous weekend. However, we aren't those muppets. We're just criticising the referee standard in the UK, and we've been doing it for a while, so please, chill out, people. We're not that menacing. Now, what have you got to offer, James, for this week Clown of the Week? And feel free to put yourself in.
So, it's not going to be me, Vam. But it is going to be something related with Bayern Munich, of course.
Oh, fuck me. Surprise, surprise. You well?
Yes. How are you?
Shut up. Go on.
Anyway, it's going to be...
He's such a mug.
Anyway, it's going to be David Alaba's very strange press conference today, announcing his departure from Bayern Munich at the end of the season. So for a long time now, for the best part of a year almost, we've all known that Alaba is not going to extend his contract with Bayern because we are not going to be giving him 400,000 euros a week, which would have completely just disrupted our complete wage structure. And then everyone knew he was leaving, but it was kind of like a very weird press conference where he just came out to confirm the obvious. And he said he was very happy for his time at Bayern, and then he's going to take a lot of memories with him.
And then asked if he's been learning Spanish.
And he said, yeah, I've been learning a lot of Spanish, but it's rusty, then left the podium. So I think it's all obvious. He's leaving to Real Madrid.
He said something like, my Spanish is rusty, but it's good enough to speak on the pitch.
Yeah, so we all know, and apparently it's been, Di Marzio's already confirmed that he is going to go to Real Madrid. I think we all know he's one of the only very few clubs.
Worst kept secret in football right now, isn't it?
Yep.
But he's a bit of a clown for wanting all that much money and leaving Bayern. But on the other hand, it's his last opportunity to have a fresh new start. And
I just don't see the point of the press conference.
No, it was weird. It was just really awkward. It was just like, it's kind of like a formality. It was almost like a formality.
It'd be like if I came out and announced a press conference saying I'm not dating Scarlett Johansson.
I agreed. And it was
I want everyone in the world to know.
It was weird.
This is how I feel. Thank you. Good Lord. I would have loved it. Do you know what I would have much preferred? If he'd come onto the stage and just gone,
Give me your fucking money!
I would have loved it if he'd come out and said, I'm fucking staying, like Wolf
I'm
of
not
Wall
fucking
Street,
leaving.
just to
I'm not
see
fucking
Hansel
leaving.
Fickle over
And
it.
everyone's
It'd be
like, oh, what?
It's not Alabama, it's Alaba.
He's Alabac.
Well, to be fair, that would mean...
Oh, come on, James. Like, if he turned around and he was like, good news, everyone, I'm getting paid. It'd be, oh, good Lord.
James would be like, oh yeah, he's one of the best centre-backs in the world.
I would feel sorry for Upamecano. What do we do with Upamecano?
I don't know. Well, I look forward to seeing the episode of A Place in the Sun starring David Alaba coming to British TV very, very soon. Now,
my mum loves that show.
Well, you'll have to sit down and watch it with her. Jack, who have you got as your Clown of the Week this week?
Harry Maguire.
Oh, Big Haz, what's old Slabhead done now, other than not defend?
He does that on a weekly occurrence.
At least he's consistent.
That is true. 80 mil, well worth.
Oh, hold on. I thought you were meant to go for Alisson. I've even updated the socials, bruv. You can't choose Maguire.
Oh, I'm going for Alisson, you tit.
Oh, that makes sense.
Do you fucking mind? I'm trying to speak here.
Oh, let him speak. How rude.
The shoes on the other foot.
Shut it, you mug. Right, so I'm going Harry Maguire. Ref gave a penalty for him being, I think, diving, slipping up. Went to VAR, overturned it. He didn't get a penalty. He went absolutely ballistic. Came out after the game and said decisions are going against Manchester United. He's got some fucking cheek,
I tell you what, I don't know what he's smoking, but I definitely want some.
Jesus Christ, he's got some cheek. Even Rio Ferdinand came out and said He would be embarrassed if he was him.
It's just not cricket, is it? You know, you've got more penalties than, like, I think I saw West Ham, Declan Rice scored a penalty against Sheffield United. It's the first one, and it's like, oh yeah, it's the first goal of the season. I was like, fucking hell, he's a penalty taker. How's he not scored? They've not had one. And then you look at United, they've had more penalties than half of fucking Europe.
Yeah, keep drinking that wine, fella.
Do you know what? Right. Somebody who absolutely loves a bev. Anytime anybody on this podcast has even remotely had a tipple, you bring it up. Are you jealous? You're just uncultured, Jack. You're just uncultured. This is a beautiful bottle.
He's so uncultured. What type of wine is Simon drinking? If you look at the colour and the way he's caressing the glass, what type of wine is that?
I'm going to teach you how to test wine.
You can tell, Carlsberg, if you...
nice fruity flavour. Then you've got to do the thing that, like, you don't really drink wine until you do this. You ready? You got to do this.
All right, relax, Kenny Jacket.
Lovely. I'm not doing a Robbie Fowler. I'm just having a sip of wine.
Go on, keep sniffing.
Anyway,
just enjoying a little bit of Kenny Jacket.
My clown of the week this week is the one, the only Alisson. As the Lincolnshire Lionel Richie once said, once, twice, 3 times a dickhead. From a world beater to points eater. He is the best keeper in the league, but has had an absolute fucking howler the past few weeks. At least he's not the most expensive keeper in the league, mate.
Best keeper in the league? Oh, don't know about that one, Chief.
And the most expensive.
No, we've got the worst keeper in the league.
Hope you kept your fucking receipts for that, lad.
Well, I don't know. It could be Ramsdale as well. Back-to-back relegations. That's pretty bad.
It's fucking 18 million as well. Jesus.
7-year contract, pal. If we're going to have a flop, we're going to do it properly, pal.
Alisson, you can't deny, like, some of the saves he's made, like Milik against in the Champions League. Even the save that he made in that game, you're like, whoa, fucking go on then. But then 5 seconds later, Kung Fu kicks our new player. Welcome to the league, pal. And then just completely implodes. Jamie Vardy's practically sniffing crack on the sideline, playing air guitar. He's so happy. So that man's got 90% Red Bull in his veins, living the dream. Oh, good Lord. It's just...
He shat all over your club, pal. Don't get bitter.
It's not the first time he's done it either. And Brendan Rodgers is there on the sideline screaming how much of a beautiful human being he is. Just a fucking mess. I wonder if Brendan Rodgers still does that, like, envelope. There's 3 people in this envelope. I wonder if he still does that.
Ooh, someone's getting lemon over it.
Lemon, a bit bitter. Well, on that.
Well, you need a lot of that after Liverpool's performances.
Well, mate, literally, after the fixture tonight, I'm ready to get hurt again. I feel like I'm going to put my emotions out there. I've got my kit on tonight, and now
Oh, it'd be great if Leipzig just fucking battered you.
You'll have to find somebody else to fucking edit this podcast next week because it won't be me, pal.
They will.
I'll be off somewhere and drinking copious amounts of red wine, or Kenny Jacket, as you like to call it. I wonder what that analogy means. So somebody go and have a look on Urban Dictionary and let me know. Well, we've got to pick a clown of the week out of those, and we've got quite a good selection. I think Slabhead's up there. Alabum, whatever you like to call him, he is up there. And I think Alisson's up there. So normally I like to decide these things, but I'm actually gonna put it to you boys. Who do you think, James, is a worthy clown of the week this week?
I think I'm going to go for Harry Maguire. I think
old Slabhead.
It's taking the rich and rich tea there. So Harry Maguire from the Hepworth household.
That's a shame. I was hoping to say Alaba.
Jack, who's going to be your clown of the week this week?
Oh, fuck it, Harry Maguire.
Just to save Alisson his graces and to make sure that a Liverpool player does not win.
Alisson.
Don't fucking change your mind.
Alisson. I want a recount.
And we go to Georgia. I know you've got Maguire, but are we allowing Jack to change his mind? He did, first word.
I want Alisson as the clown of the week. Back-to-back Liverpool.
Yeah, I'll let him have that. Well,
it comes down to the deciding vote. I cannot see Alisson's face photoshopped onto Karius anymore, so I'm going to give it to old Slabhead.
Bullshit.
I'm going to give it to Slabhead.
That's bullshit. That's bias at its finest.
Have you got a start sub-sell ready for us involving Samuel Eto'o?
Oh, go on then. I can think of one. Here we go. Start, sub, sell. Samuel Eto'o, Thierry Henry, Robert Lewandowski.
Oh, fucking hell, that's a good one.
This may have come up in the WhatsApp group a couple months ago.
That is a really good one. It's like, do you know what, James? Your lucky clown of the week's finished.
Oh, yeah, we should have done Clown of the Week afterwards.
Oh, well. I could always
I'll tell you
change it
who
in the
I'm
old
selling.
edit. Go on.
I am selling the guy at Bayern Munich, Robert Lewandowski.
You're not. Why?
Yes. What? He's not better than the Prime Eto'o or Prime Henry. Prime Eto'o. Mate. Henry.
The thing is, Carlsberg is too much of a romantic. He doesn't see football and stats and figures. He's a romantic.
Football is far more than just stats. You've actually got to watch the games.
Yes, you do, but you've got to go by the stats and the figures.
Stats are important, but stats are important with context. It's not just stats.
Anyway, you decide. I'll say my bit in a second.
I don't know how I'm starting now.
So all three of them are in the prime, yeah?
It's between Eto'o and Henry.
Right, okay.
Yeah, in their prime.
Are you ready, James? Because I am.
I am ready.
I'm going to start prime Thierry Henry. I'm going to sub prime Robert Lewandowski. And I'm going to sell Eto'o.
How can you sell Eto'o?
Well, fucking Barcelona did, mate.
This bloke won back-to-back trebles. With two different clubs.
Yeah, do you know why? Because they sold him.
Oh yeah, because that really helped them, didn't it? What happened to Zlatan at Barcelona?
He got pepped.
Did Eto'o win six trophies?
Yeah, he did
in one season. And he never was.
Oh no,
was he there in that season?
He won
No, he
all
wasn't. He wasn't
all
there
the
in
trophies
09-10.
with that Barcelona team, apart from the World Club Championship, which I think he then went on to win with Inter Milan because he won back-to-back trebles with two different clubs.
Still didn't win the six.
Has Henry or Lewandowski won back-to-back trebles?
Well, he could do. Well, no, we can't. We've been knocked out of our cup for this year.
Oh well. No, to be honest,
So not this year, unfortunately.
I have always liked Lewandowski as a player. I think when he was at Dortmund, he was phenomenal.
Put some
The
fucking
greatest
respect
free
on Eto'o's
transfer
name,
of
man.
all time. I like Eto'o a lot. I think he's a great player.
He's one of the
But
best strikers ever. Prime Eto'o is one of the best strikers ever, as is Henry.
Looking at the way that Lewandowski has played at Dortmund, looking at the way that he's played at Bayern Munich.
Yeah, but Lewandowski has more goals, and he hasn't even finished his career yet.
Think of what Eto'o's done in the big games as well.
Oh no, I'm not discrediting what Eto'o's done, but it's personal preference. I personally would start Thierry Henry, and Lewandowski scored 5 goals coming off the bench, mate. You've got to have that. I'm taking that into account.
Oh yeah, has he scored in the Champions League semi-final or final?
You don't need to, mate, because he's already won it. I mean, Eto'o did do that, yeah, but Eto'o did do that.
I mean, for Bayern Munich, sorry.
Yeah, he has scored.
He's obviously done it at Dortmund. He's done quite well.
He also scored probably one of the best disallowed goals in a Champions League final ever.
Oh, really? One of the best disallowed goals ever? Oh, shit. Oh, well, fucking hell.
I think I might have hit a nerve here. Go on, James. I'll let you go now.
Best disallowed goal ever. Is that what we're going with now? Best disallowed goal.
So triggered.
What?
So I'm going to start Lewandowski.
Oh.
I'm going to sub.
Imagine my surprise.
I'm going to sub Eto'o, and I'm going to sell Henry.
No.
This guy actually thinks Lewandowski is better than a prime Henry.
Yes.
See, this is the level.
I'm not mad.
For anyone that's listening to this podcast, this is the level.
He is. He is.
I can't even say it. I mean, this is the level of football knowledge I've got to deal with when having a discussion with these two clowns.
What do you mean? Don't drag fucking me into this.
Well,
I
hang on, mate.
I gave you my opinion. It's personal.
You just said Prime Lewandowski is better than a prime Henry.
What? Mate, I'm sorry. It's all personal, mate. You don't need to be. You don't need to be the bloody start, swap, sell police. It's all personal, mate.
I'd prefer it, James, on this podcast if you didn't refer to somebody as the SSS police. Thank you very much.
Yes. Mate, he's already surpassed Henry's goals. He's done more. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
I'm keeping that in. Good Lord. Good Lord.
This whole thing is just a fucking sham. I'm out of it.
He's had enough.
Ben and Prime
Calamity.
Henry, are you having a laugh?
I have to admit, though, Prime Henry? Really?
No, I've chosen Lewandowski, Eto'o, Henry can fuck off.
Oh.
You just the level of
Mate, it
football
doesn't
knowledge
need
right
to be
now.
about football knowledge. This is personal. This is a personal question. You asking me?
Look, he's
It's nothing
literally,
about
he's so
knowing
upset.
football.
Look
He's
at
angry.
him.
He's fuming.
Fucking
His
hell.
face has turned to the colour of a boiled ham.
Nah, it's always been like that, mate. It's been lighting.
I think this is a really good time to move on to the Hall of Fame. Good Lord, what an absolutely outrageous section that was. And now we've only got to listen to more outrage because last week's winner was Mr. Hepworth with the
Again,
Cruyff
yeah.
turn. It's 2 on the bounce, I believe, now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like 3 out of 4 actually. Well, it was always
more
going to come
like
good at the end.
3 out of 21. Let's be real.
Yeah,
The
but
percentage isn't very good. Have you prepared a acceptance speech this week?
I have got a very good suggestion from my clown of the week. Not clown of the week. We've just done that.
Just keep all this in,
Sorry,
please.
go on.
Let's start from the top. A 1, a 2, 3, 4. Okay, so my entry for the Hall of Fame is going to be.
Any day now.
I need to have a think. Come back to me, please.
It's all right. It's not like there's Champions League on tonight.
It's a good job there's no early games, James. We definitely would have missed it.
Come back to me.
Oh, I'd be gone, mate. After that Henry comment, fuck that. See you later.
It'll come back to you. Oh, dear. Jack, who is going to be your Hall of Fame suggestion this week?
Well, in this fucking podcast, mate. I can tell you that now.
Come on.
Right,
He doesn't know either. He doesn't
No, of
know
course I know.
either. He's giving it all the large, going, you don't know, but he doesn't even know.
I'm going for the. Please, do not speak when the genius is talking. I'm going for the Nike advert. Winner stays on.
Oh,
And they start saying players' names and they turn into those players. It's like the first one turns into Ronaldo, next one turns into Neymar, and then you got like Pirlo and Kobe Bryant's in the crowd. Pirlo's also in the game. You got where the guy says Iniesta and he turns into some fat postman. And then you got where it's like a free kick, like Rooney's in there, Tim Howard, the Incredible Hulk, and then it gets to like a free kick, and Zlatan picks up the ball, goes to Mario Götze and goes, Zlatan thinks Zlatan should take this.
Mario Götze, so that's the last time he got a sponsorship deal, bless him.
It's like it's the GOAT.
Oh, I don't know. The Brazilian one in the airport is pretty up there.
Oh, Brazil versus
Pretty
Portugal.
up there.
Or Brazil in the airport. That's a
very
good shout.
That's an excellent suggestion.
I think they're all Nike adverts, though. Nike do know how to do a good advert.
They do a good advert. It's not as good as Hazard's Biscoff one, though, I would say. That's the ultimate. You know, he's like, it's the little coffee cup, and then he has a biscuit, and then he has another biscuit, then he has another biscuit, and then he has a couple of other biscuits, and then he gets injured.
Oh, sorry. Is someone a little bit better because Vardy bent them over and fucking rimmed him?
What Vardy gets up to on his weekends... ... It was Rebecca Vardy. Anyway,
I've got a source. It's Colleen Rooney.
Hall of Fame suggestion yet, James?
No, he's too busy fucking thinking
No,
about
I'm
Bayern.
not, and I've got my Hall of Fame. So it's Bayern related,
Right.
of course.
Oh, of course, yeah.
No, it's not. It's going
It is.
to... No, it's not. It's going
It
to...
is, though, isn't it?
Nah, fam. It's going to be...
Is it not?
Nah, mate. It's going to be David Beckham.
Go on and say it.
It's going to be David Beckham's free kick against Greece in the qualifier for the 2002 World Cup.
Last minute
Yes.
free kick. We all
Old
remember
Trafford,
that.
mate, when he went with his shirt like
Old
that
Trafford.
to the grounds. Yeah. David Beckham's free kick.
Yeah.
Mate, everyone remembers that. I remember that.
And he's
I
telling
remember
me
my
not to
family
be a
going,
romantic about football.
I think it was the weekend. It was like a weekend. It was like a Sunday.
That is the best game Beckham's ever played. Like, he played as a cam, fucking untouchable. He was such a good player that day. Who is my Hall of Fame suggestion this week? After a bit of a golden run of winning every other game, I've suddenly gone, like Liverpool, I've had a bit of a dry spell with my pick. And now the fact that James has picked that one, it's going to be very, very hard to top. But my Hall of Fame suggestion is just one sentence and one sentence only. And everybody listening to this podcast has probably heard it. And it's live! That is my Hall of Fame suggestion this week. Is Martin...
Did you just say Clive Tilsley?
What's his name?
For God's sake. See, point proven, no knowledge, no
What's his name? I just had a blank.
This is what I'm dealing with.
No, I said Martin Tyler. No.
Martin Tyler, and it's live, is my suggestion for the Hall of Fame this week.
You couldn't remember his name. The other guy got his name wrong and confused with Clive Tilsley. This is just a shambles.
It's a disgrace. It's a fucking disgrace.
It's a fucking disgrace.
Oh, good Lord. That's a very good Hall of Fame.
We apologise for that kind of language.
It's a very good Hall of Fame this week. Remember that you can vote in it on our Hall of Fame post on Twitter, which is at FC_podcast2. And that will be on Twitter. And also check out some of our posts on Instagram. We'll be putting highlights of this podcast.
Yeah, vote for the commentator. The guy couldn't even remember his name.
He's turned a corner ever since I said I would bounce out Henry from a start sub-cell.
I know, you've triggered him. Like, I've never seen that vein on his forehead before.
Really? It shows up every now and then.
No, I've never seen all that smoke.
Yeah,
no, it's just my hair getting longer. Lockdown, man. Like, I need a haircut about a month ago. This is just like a fucking sham on the top of my head now.
Whenever you see people in your area rocking mullets, that's normally a signifier that your rent's going up.
Yeah.
Right, gents,
true.
I think that's a very good place to wrap up the end of this podcast because I've just seen that there's a minute left on our little Zoom call. So thanks for anybody that's listened to this and anybody that has listened to it. That's all we've got time for this week at FCP. Thank you for listening right to the end. And if you enjoyed this podcast, once again, please give it a 5-star review and tell us why you like it. Or better yet, tell us why you don't like it, what we could be doing better. Probably something to do with James. James, Jack, thank you for your expertise this
Henry
week.
was robbed.
Get in touch with us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Links are in the description below. Have a great week. Enjoy the games this weekend. Enjoy the return of the Champions League. And see you next time.
Put some respect on Thierry Henry's name.
Right, outside now.